The bioelectric blueprint, unlocking the body's electrical and genomic secrets. The human body, often viewed through the lens of biochemistry and mechanics, also functions as an intricate bioelectrical system, a living circuit buzzing with astonishing potential. From the fleeting spark of a thought to the fundamental processes of cell repair, electricity plays a pivotal, albeit often overlooked, role. This article delves into the fascinating world of human bioelectricity, its theoretical implications, and draws intriguing parallels between the body's electrical architecture and modern electronic systems, as well as between genomic transactions and the principles of blockchain technology. The electric cell, a microscopic powerhouse. Every human cell maintains an electrical potential across its membrane, known as the resting membrane potential. This potential is primarily generated by the differential distribution of ions like sodium, potassium, and chloride across the cell membrane, actively maintained by ion pumps, e.g., the sodium-potassium pump, and selective ion channels. While this potential varies slightly between cell types, a typical value for a neuron or muscle cell is approximately 70 millivolts MV or 0.07 volts. This seemingly small voltage is crucial for countless cellular functions, including nerve impulse transmission, muscle contraction, and cell-to-cell communication. Considering that the human body is composed of an estimated 50 trillion 5x1013 cells, the collective electrical potential across all these individual cellular membranes is staggering. If we were to hypothetically sum these individual cellular potentials, not as a single continuous voltage, but as the total potential difference maintained by the body's cellular machinery, the calculation yields 5x10^13 cells, 0.07 V cell are 3.5 x 1012 volts, or 3.5 teravolts. It's crucial to understand that this immense figure does not represent a single measurable voltage that could be tapped into like a battery. Instead, it signifies the enormous amount of energy stored within the electrochemical gradients across cell membranes, actively maintained by the body's metabolic processes. It underscores the pervasive and fundamental nature of electrical forces within our biology driving every life process. Harnessing bioelectricity, a glimpse into future human capabilities. The concept of consciously controlling or directly harnessing this internal bioelectricity opens a speculative yet exciting frontier for human enhancement. Enhanced self-healing. The body's endogenous electric fields are already known to play critical roles in wound healing, regeneration, and tissue development. For instance, electric fields guide cell migration during embryonic development and injury repair. Research in organisms like planarians and salamanders shows that manipulating these bioelectric signals can induce limb regeneration or even guide the formation of complex organs. For humans, future applications could involve accelerated wound repair, directing cellular migration and proliferation to dramatically speed up the healing of deep wounds, burns, or internal injuries. Organ regeneration, moving beyond simple tissue repair to potentially regenerating lost limbs or damaged organs by providing the correct bioelectric blueprints to stem cells. Disease reversal, influencing cellular behavior to correct developmental defects or reverse cellular malfunctions associated with diseases like cancer, where electrical properties of cells are often altered. Enhanced cognition. Brain function is intrinsically electrical. Thoughts, memories, and consciousness arise from complex patterns of electrical activity across vast networks of neurons. Techniques like transcranial direct current stimulation, TDCS, already demonstrate how external electrical currents can modulate brain activity, improving focus, memory, and learning in certain contexts. The ability to consciously influence or tune one's own brain's electrical rhythms, e.g., alpha, beta, gamma waves, could lead to supercharged learning, optimizing brain states for rapid assimilation of new information and skills. Unprecedented focus, achieving states of deep concentration, blocking out distractions and sustaining mental effort for extended periods. Cognitive repair, assisting in the recovery from neurological damage or conditions like Alzheimer's by guiding neural network reorganization. Enhanced intuition, often described as a gut feeling or subconscious insight, remains largely a mystery. However, some theories suggest it could involve the brain's rapid, nonlinear processing of vast amounts of information, including subtle sensory cues and stored experiences, which then manifests as a sudden knowing. If bioelectricity is linked to subconscious information processing and pattern recognition, then future capabilities might include amplified pattern recognition, heightening the ability to unconsciously detect complex patterns and anomalies in data, social situations, or environmental cues. Deeper subconscious access, gaining more direct access to the vast information processed below conscious awareness, leading to insights and solutions that appear out of nowhere. Interpersonal connection, potentially sensing or reading the subtle bioelectric fields or states of others, leading to enhanced empathy and understanding, though this borders on highly speculative territory. Disclaimer: the ideas presented for enhanced cognition, healing, and intuition are theoretical and speculative. Research in these areas is nascent, and the ability to consciously control or directly harness bioelectricity for these purposes remains a distant scientific goal. The body as an electrical circuit, a biological supercomputer. Viewing the human body as a complex electrical circuit provides a powerful analogy for understanding its functional architecture. Resistors. Every cell, membrane, and tissue offers resistance to the flow of ions. Different tissues have varying conductivity, directing current flow. Ion channels, when closed, act as high resistors, while open channels reduce resistance. Capacitors. The lipid bilayer of cell membranes acts as a capacitor, storing electrical charge due to the separation of charges across its insulating layer. This capacitance is critical for generating action potentials. Transistors, switches, voltage-gated ion channels are the body's equivalent of transistors. They are biological switches that open or close in response to changes in membrane voltage, controlling the flow of specific ions. These channels are fundamental to signal amplification and transmission in neurons and muscle cells. Synapses, where neurons communicate, are complex biological switches that can integrate multiple inputs before generating an output. Power supply, the metabolic processes that generate ATP, adenosine triphosphate, are the power supply that fuels the ion pumps, actively maintaining the electrochemical gradients essential for cellular electrical potential. Input, output, I/O, sensory organs, eyes, ears, skin receptors, act as sophisticated input devices, converting external stimuli, light, sound, pressure, into electrical signals. Muscles and glands serve as output devices, translating electrical signals from the nervous system into physical actions or chemical secretions. Signal processing. The nervous system, particularly the brain, is an incredibly sophisticated signal processor. Neural networks perform parallel processing, integration, filtering, and decision-making on bioelectrical signals, far surpassing the complexity of current artificial intelligence. Feedback loops are ubiquitous, regulating everything from hormone levels to motor control. This intricate network of biological components allows for rapid information transmission, complex computation, and adaptive responses to internal and external environments, making the human body a true biological supercomputer. Genomic transactions, nature's blockchain. The genetic information encoded in DNA is the blueprint of life, a decentralized, immutable ledger that governs cellular function and heredity. The processes surrounding DNA, replication, transcription, repair, and inheritance bear striking similarities to the core principles of blockchain technology. Parallels between genomics and blockchain. 1. Immutability and integrity. Genomics. DNA's double helix structure provides inherent stability, and cellular proofreading and repair mechanisms ensure remarkably high fidelity during replication. Mutations, while occurring, are often either repaired or lead to functional changes rather than a complete corruption of the entire genome. The core genetic sequence is largely preserved across generations. Blockchain. Each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, creating an unbreakable chain. Any alteration to a historical block would invalidate all subsequent blocks, making the ledger virtually tamper-proof. 2. Decentralization. Genomics. Every single nucleated cell in an organism contains a complete copy of the organism's genome. There's no central master DNA repository. Rather, the genetic information is distributed across trillions of individual cellular nodes. Blockchain. The ledger is distributed across a network of participants, nodes. There is no central authority controlling the data. All nodes maintain a copy, contributing to its resilience. 3. Security and verification. Consensus mechanisms. Genomics, DNA replication includes multiple proofreading enzymes, a DNA polymerase that correct errors during synthesis. Mismatch repair systems further enhance accuracy. Cellular processes often involve redundant pathways and feedback mechanisms to ensure correct gene expression and protein function. Blockchain. Transactions are verified by multiple nodes in the network through a consensus mechanism, e.g., proof of work, proof of stake. This collective validation ensures the legitimacy of new entries and the security of the overall system. 4. Transparency and auditability. Genomics. Genetic information is read, transcribed, and translated within cells to produce proteins. In a broader sense, genetic traits are transparently passed down through generations, allowing for evolutionary audits over vast timescales. Blockchain, all verified transactions are recorded on the public ledger, visible to all participants. This transparency allows for auditing and verification of the entire transaction history. Insights from the analogy. This analogy suggests that biological systems have naturally evolved highly robust, secure, and distributed information management strategies. Understanding how cells maintain genomic integrity in a decentralized manner could provide profound insights for designing future distributed ledger technologies, particularly concerning scalability, energy efficiency compared to energy-intensive consensus mechanisms, and error correction. Conversely, applying blockchain principles could offer new frameworks for modeling complex genetic interactions and evolutionary processes. Future directions. A convergence of biology and technology. The intersection of bioelectricity, genomics, and distributed ledger technology presents a fertile ground for interdisciplinary research and innovation. 1. Bioelectrical interface technologies. Developing advanced interfaces that can precisely read, interpret, and even write bioelectric signals at the cellular level. This could lead to neural prosthetics with unprecedented fidelity, biofeedback systems for health optimization, and even direct brain-to-computer or brain-to-brain communication. 2. Bio-inspired computing and AI. Designing new computing architectures that mimic the distributed parallel processing and error-correcting capabilities of biological electrical circuits and genomic systems. This could result in highly resilient, energy-efficient, and self-organizing AI. 3. Decentralized biological systems and health. Applying blockchain principles to manage vast biological data sets, genomic, proteomic, clinical, in a secure, transparent, and patient-controlled manner. Moreover, conceptualizing biological self-organization and regulation through a decentralized, consensus-driven framework could offer new therapeutic avenues. 4. Understanding consciousness. Further exploring the role of collective bioelectrical fields and genomic expression in the emergence of consciousness and intuitive abilities. Could there be a consensus mechanism within the brain's electrical activity that underpins our subjective experience? In conclusion, the human body is far more than a collection of organs. It is a marvel of bioelectrical engineering and decentralized information management. By understanding its electrical circuits and genomic blockchain, we not only gain deeper insights into life itself, but also unlock potential pathways for revolutionary advancements in health, cognition, and technology, potentially ushering in an era where humanity can consciously interact with and enhance its own intricate bioelectric blueprint.